Welcome to Fett's Legacy, everyone. My name is Taryn, and I'm back today to talk about a possibility of Mace Windu returning to Star Wars. So, guys, if you guys don't know, Samuel L. Jackson was recently talking about how he wants to return to Star Wars, and he was talking to Bryce Dallas Howard about returning. She is one of the directors for The Mandalorian, and she directed Episode 5 of the Book of Boba Fett. So basically, The Mandalorian, and yeah, he talked to her about it. And in the past, he has talked to George Lucas about Mace Windu surviving. Saying that Jedi can fall from great heights, and he just thinks that Mace Windu is alive, and he wants to return back to Star Wars. So, guys, what does this mean for Star Wars, Mandalorian, and Fett's Legacy? So, guys, let's get right into it with Mace Windu. Obviously, here's the thing. If he's going to return, they really need a really good explanation for where he's been this whole time. Because if he's going to return in maybe the Kenobi timeline and, fight Vader and be a part of that, that makes a lot of sense. But if he shows up in The Mandalorian or Book of Boba Fett Season 2 or Ahsoka, something else, we need a really good explanation for where he's been all these years, because if you know Mace Windu, if you know anything about his character, he's not the kind of guy that would just hide away like Obi-Wan and Yoda, like the rest of the Jedi. Mace Windu would want revenge against Palpatine, and especially against Anakin. So I really don't see how he would just be kind of sitting on the sidelines for over 20 years. I know he had his hand cut off, but robotic limbs are a huge part of Star Wars, and even Samuel L. Jackson said, I'll learn to use a lightsaber with my left hand. But no, guys, like, for real, for Mace Windu to return, they need some kind of explanation. I'm not sure what that could be. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he went on some other journey, or maybe he was trapped away somewhere. I really don't know how they could make this work and fully explain it for him to come back. Like, he would have to be trapped somewhere, I guess, for like 20 years. Because for him to be in hiding, I think that really goes against who Mace Windu is as a character. And look, guys, I'm not going to say I'm some professional at Star Wars, at knowing Star Wars, but I love Mace Windu. I've watched all the movies. I've watched all the shows. I read a lot of the comics. I know his character. And knowing Mace Windu as a character, you have to agree with me that it doesn't make sense for him to be gone for 20 years. He's the kind of guy who would come back and try and kill Vader and Palpatine and take them on. And, that's just Mace Windu as a character. If you guys know Star Wars Theory, I'm sure you guys do if you guys are watching my channel, he's doing a fan fiction film with Mace Windu returning and fighting Darth Vader. Such a great story, great idea, and that makes a lot more sense to me than Mace Windu just returning now and maybe training Grogu or doing whatever he's got to do. Now, here's the thing. I would love to see Mace Windu again in live action. He's a great character. He's one of my favorite characters, and purple is my favorite color, so I really like his lightsaber. But in all seriousness, guys, like, it would have to make sense with the story, because then they would be ruining his character almost. They would be ruining what we know about Mace Windu to fit their agenda, to bring him back. So if they have a really good explanation, I'm all for it. I'd love to see him again. Like, Samuel L. Jackson is one of my favorite actors, and I would love to see his interaction with Boba Fett the most. If he were to come back, I think that's what I'd want to see the most, He could come and talk to Luke, talk to Ahsoka, train Grogu. All of that stuff is cool, but I want to see him meet Boba Fett. And I think Mace Windu might be the only man in the galaxy that Boba Fett might still hold a grudge for. Boba Fett has turned a new leaf. He's trying to be a different person. And I think even people, like Luke, he wouldn't have an issue with. That was just a job. Han, I think, honestly, he wouldn't really have too much of an issue with. Maybe a little bit of a back and forth, but he wouldn't really care too much or try to kill him just because he saw him Mace Windu, on the other hand, is the man that killed his father right in front of him, right? So I would like to see it just to see what would happen. But the thing is at the end of the day, like, even with Boba Fett's jetpack, if Mace Windu is at full strength, Mace Windu solos Boba. Like, he just does. Like, Mace Windu solos half the galaxy, you know? If it's not like Palpatine or Darth Vader or Yoda, like, Mace Windu probably takes on pretty much everyone else. I definitely see that. Maybe Luke at this point, I'm not sure, but yeah, like, so it wouldn't even be like that great of a fight, because even with Boba's jetpack, Mace Windu has the Force. He can do a lot of stuff, right? And I just think, like, it wouldn't really be a fight anyway. I would still like to see them interact. Maybe Mace Windu apologize or something. I'm not really sure, because at the end of the day, they just made Boba Fett a main character. They're not going to reintroduce Mace Windu and have him kill a guy that they just made a whole show for. They're not going to do that. I don't know. I love Samuel L. Jackson. I love Mace Windu as a character. And, I love Star Wars. But to see him come back, it would be really cool. But I just don't know if I trust Disney to actually make it work properly in line with the story. And I really think, honestly, if they are going to bring him back, I think maybe bring him back in an older timeline like they're doing with Kenobi. Make a Mace, like a Windu show. A Mace Windu show. Why not, right? Have it maybe, I don't know, maybe a couple years after the Empire just started, and Mace Windu has, amassed some Jedi that he's gone around the galaxy and found, and he takes on the Emperor and Vader. Kind of like I said, Star Wars Theories fan fiction. I mean, that would kind of be blatantly just ripping him off. But that kind of story makes so much more sense for Mace Windu. And I would love to see that. If he comes back in this new timeline, again, they really need to think of a great reason. I can't even think of a great reason for him to be gone for 20 years and now just show up. But yeah, I mean, maybe it was him who saved Grogu from the temple. I know a lot of people were speculating that before. I just don't know. I don't know how they could make it work. Give me some of your thoughts in the comment section below if you think there's a specific way that he could be, chilling for 20 years and now he just shows up. But guys, if you know Mace Windu's character, you know he's not the kind of guy like Kenobi or Yoda to just, wait and sit for 20 years, watch over a kid or something. Like, that's not Mace Windu, man. He wants revenge. He wants to take on the people who betrayed the Jedi Order. So, yeah, again, I'd love to see him. Let me know what you guys think of this video, some of my thoughts, and let me know how you think they could bring him back, and would you want to see Mace Windu back, or do you think they might just ruin it? Anyway, guys, thank you for checking out this video. I really appreciate all the support. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.